Hi everyone, I'm DJ Placebo, host of the Bad Radio Show, only on WUSC-FM and HD1 Columbia. Today, I am joined by FatRat Da Czar to stir up some excitement for the St. Patrick's Day Festival, happening right in our backyard in 5 Points, Columbia, this Saturday, March 19th. So, now to start out with, who is FatRat Da Czar?
Who is FatRat Da Czar? FatRat Da Czar is a recording artist, a recording engineer, and most would say entrepreneur, which comes along with being an independent musician, and festival founder, Love, Peace, and Hip Hop. So, do a little bit of everything. If it's in the realm of music, I'm doing it, or I've done it, and probably stopped. Yeah.
So, I think my biggest question is, where did the name come from?
The name, okay, well, that's pretty simple. I had a friend in the neighborhood named Mookie, so he has an original name too, that just called me Fat Rat. I don't even know if he was joking. He was referring to, he felt like I had a lot of different hustles. So he was like, you found a way to get to the cheese, aka the money, like you know how to make money, so you're a fat rat. And it just took off faster than I could put it out, so I think it was just something he said one day and it took off. The Czar came later from a good friend who regarded my focus as ruling with an iron fist. So that was another joke. Two jokes. Yeah, he pretty much was like, he rules with an iron fist. He's the Czar. And after he passed away, I decided to tack it on to my name and make it longer and even more funnier than just Fat Rat. So.
When we got a list of people who we could interview, I saw FatRat Da Czar and I was like, him.
Yeah, we got to do this.
I need to meet this person.
Yeah. The guy who named himself this, we need to meet him.
Yes. So when did you get your start in the music scene?
Oh man, that was many years ago. I think right around the mid-90s. We started, I was in a group then, Underground Railroad, Street Side. That was the beginning of us going to recording studios and trying to cut records, maybe early 90s we were figuring it out, beats and rhymes and in the garage trying to figure it all out. But I think like mid 90s, 96, 97, we started scraping our coins together to go to the studio and figure out what was in our heads, if it actually sounded good to our ears.
Yeah. So if you've been in the music industry or the music scene in Cola since the 90s, I think it's probably changed a lot since then. Have you noticed anything?
Yeah. I mean, with my genre being primarily in hip hop, absolutely. I mean, we just were down in 5 Points as we kind of surveying the scene for this weekend, and I was showing my son where we first got started at it was a place called the Elbow Room back then, and I think it's called the Saloon now. Yeah. But back then they were the only venue that would let us get down, and they gave us like Wednesday nights. They were like, okay, if you can bring a crowd, and we brought a big crowd every Wednesday. And so at that time, the same guy who owned the New Brooklyn Tavern.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he kind of moved us over there as he sold that, and that put us in the tavern for probably the next decade. So yeah, so. Just looking at, the buildings are the same, the names have changed, but obviously there's way more places to play and perform hip hop now. Back then it was like we all had to come on Wednesday night to one place. Yeah. Now it's like citywide, and we've had some great acts and artists come out of here. So yeah. Since then, so yeah, it's changed, and it seems to be growing actually. So I'm very happy with that.
How do you think hip-hop as a whole has changed?
Oh, man. Well, obviously, the money. You think about hip-hop, next year, the culture itself will be celebrating 50 years. So, from the South Bronx, New York, all the way worldwide at this point, I mean, I don't think the guys who kicked this thing off back in 73 forecasted artists like Drake that would just be like, incredibly large, pretty much Michael Jackson of our era, and it's a hip hop artist, so it's grown, a lot of money made, but I think the best part about it, I liken hip hop to folk music in the sense that the unique stories of everybody's town or state or area or across seas, this is how I connected with the rest of the world through this music, and the stories aren't as generic as maybe some genres, which generic stories are good as
Yeah.
long as the song is good. But hip hop just focused on these very unique stories that were custom to
Yeah.
these areas. So growing up, I didn't know what New York was like, but I could put on Public Enemy, and
Yeah.
you know, I didn't know what L.A. was like or Compton by throwing N.W.A. You know, and it's like I didn't know about the party scene in Miami, and you throw on Uncle Luke, and it's like it puts you right there. You know, so and that just continued to happen, and it just kind of connected us through these stories that it's not folk music, but it has some folk elements to hip hop. You know, so.
Yeah.
Now all the dots are connected. 50 years later, we all know about everything. We all dress like what we want. You know, if we want a West Coast vibe today, we know what the West Coast vibe looks like. You know, if we want to do a New York style, we know how to get our Timberland boots and our bubble coats. You know, so it's like it really connected not only the country, but I felt like the world through music. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
really.
It's amazing to see like how that's only like grown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially through like streaming and
Oh
stuff
my
like
God,
that.
yeah.
Now there's so many smaller artists who can now just like break out randomly.
Access so much. People can barely listen to the same thing every day because it's like you always want to dig. You know, if you're a lover of music, no matter the genre, I mean, it is literally at your fingertips now. You know.
Yeah.
A lot different from waiting on Tuesday till the store open to bust in and buy your album that you're going to listen to on repeat for 3 months. You know, now it's like, oh, Kanye got a new album, check this out today, you know, while I'm
on to the next thing.
Yeah, I'm on to the next thing. So we may be a little too spoiled right now, but it definitely beats. The access is really good. I like it. Coming from the record store days, I like being able to, it's all on my phone, you know, it's like I can access it whenever, so. Yeah, that's good. Technology, though. You know, technology moves things along.
Yeah.
And like with anything else, it's done wonders for music. And I think that the streaming has done wonders for independent artists. You know, they don't have a big label push. They still have opportunity to earn a few bucks, you know, and that keeps them going, which is what we need. You know, I think back in the day, if you didn't get a record deal, you kind of had to stop at some point because life goes on, and if you got a family or whatever. But this gives artists opportunity. You know, they may not be making $1 million, but they might be making $10,000. You know, and that keeps the art alive. You know, and fresh. So definitely the technology of streaming and just the access to our media devices. You know, has moved things along.
Do you think you could explain a little bit about your music making process?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that changes over time, but I think a few elements is just I like to have I like to be inspired by a topic or a concept before I even hear any music. Like so, at this age, what I see and feel and touch that affects me in any way. Positively, negatively, you know, happy, sad. What I like to do is remember that feeling and then at some point revisit it musically. And then if the music that's created feels right, the lyrics usually flow pretty easy after that. So, you know, it could be anything now. As I get older, you know, I may see a mother with a small child, with a boy, and that could remind me of myself as a boy and my mother, you know. So that I could be inspired at that point to, you know, man, I want to revisit what those years, you know, the wonder years were. And so I just kind of tucked that memory away, and later on I matched the music to it, and then the lyrics just pretty much fly after that, yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit about, like, starting with the concept,
definitely.
Music, and then the lyrics come
after that, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm at this age, I think I've learned almost all the words I'm going to learn. I might have...
Yeah.
I got 90% of the words down that I'm going to have in my lifetime. So the words flow, but, you know, I want to be, I want to be authentic to the music and not just make songs to make them. So, you know, you want that little bit of inspiration, and usually that converts into a concept. You know, whatever inspires me, I try to make that into a concept to work with.
Yeah. That's really cool, because I always kind of assumed with hip-hop that it was like more concept and feeling, and then you have the words. I always thought of it more as like poetry with music alongside of it, not like using the music first and then using that to
Well,
create
no,
the
no, no.
words.
I think as an artist, as a hip hop artist especially, I think that's exactly how it starts. You know,
Yeah.
As a more seasoned artist, the words, because when you first getting started, the words are everything. You know, right?
Yeah.
People are hanging off every word, and if it's good, they love you. If it's not that good, right? But then as you do this long enough, you realize that the fusion between the two is so much important too, right? So it's like cooking, right? You could have all these items separately, but when you begin to layer the flavors, right, it creates a new flavor, right? And so the music I learned as I made music over time, the music and the instrumentation was so important to what I was going to say that I couldn't just add it later, because the lyrics would have maybe been written without that feeling, kind of like the bass line that I need. So the music then became very important, and I think that's when your skill and talent really shows, when be it a trumpet, be it a saxophone, be it whatever that instrument is, or combination of instruments are very similar to ingredients, right? When you hit it, it's like, okay, you want to give that the right amount of words, not have a whole bunch of words, and then, at least for me, try to make the music fit on in there. I want the music to really drive you, and then let me curate the right words that go with this musical palette.
Yeah.
At least for me. But I'm getting old too, so there may be some lazy talk.
No, that's okay. So, do you have any musicians that you think really influenced you when you were getting your start?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, on a national level, I with hip hop, pretty much all the old school guys, I admired them all. I was a big fan of a group called the Fat Boys. They were like some of the first they had some of the first crossover music that was very fun, but they still were kept their skill set high. LL Cool J, Run DMC, I was like big fans of, and then into the '90s when I started rapping, Tupac, Biggie, definitely Scarface, and even here locally in town. I mean the first female rap group of all time in existence is from Columbia. The Sequence. So it's very inspiring to know that right down the street in Saxon Holmes, they all went to C.A. Johnson. That they were, in fact, we were some of the first, South Carolinians were some of the first to make some big, strong contributions, so, and then several bands here in town. I'm still fans of some of the, I'm still a fan of some of the bands here, but down throughout time, I visited a lot of the live venues, and all genres. I like to see South Carolina doing well musically. Safe to say.
Yeah. And then, what's one track that never gets old for you, no matter how
me,
many times?
What's one track that never gets old? That's a good question, actually. You may not know this artist, but it's an artist by the name, two guys named EPMD, and they got a song called "You Gots to Chill," and "You Gots to Chill" never gets old. Literally never gets old. So I can play that on repeat 24 hours straight. I will be okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I can play that song. Love it.
So you have opened for some pretty big names.
Yeah.
What concert opening, anything like that, has been the most memorable or influential for you?
Man, I hate to cut anybody out of that one. It's hard to I opened up for Big at the Township in '95, and it's Biggie. So it's like, obviously we had no idea he was in danger or could even fathom. I was 18 years old that he would not be around, not even 2 years after that. But I think when people see that, that means the most to them. But maybe I think Lauryn Hill was a big one. You know, Snoop Dogg was pretty major. It meant a lot to me to open up for Lauryn Hill when she visited South Carolina after the flag was removed. You know, I know that was part of. In talking to her, that was part of why she hadn't come before.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the whole reason, but you know, the flag was removed in 15, and she came in 15.
Yeah.
You know, so that summer of 15, it was down. And regardless of your viewpoint of the flag, I know to some people it means one thing, to some people it means another. But it definitely opened up an opportunity for an artist that is one of the greatest artists of all time to be downtown Columbia, just wailing. So, I mean, to open up for her, share a stage with her, and get a chance to chop it up with her, and just that was one of those moments you won't forget too soon. You know.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of those moments. Man, I've been blessed. So, you know, but I mean, you know, I've been fortunate enough. But I think she may have. I'm not usually a starstruck person, but she may have been.
You may have been a little starstruck.
I was a little. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of checking, you know, making sure. It's Lauryn Hill. You gotta.
Yeah.
She's glowing. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say this: celebrities oftentimes don't look exactly how they look on TV, right? Because they get doctored up and, you know, got the best makeup, best clothes, right? She is that and more. She definitely looks everything. She's gorgeous. So. I might have been fumbling over my words a taste. Maybe a taste. Just a little bit. But I had it together.
Yeah, which is hard for a hip hop artist. I feel like
right. When am I going to be fumbling my words, right? I keep extra words. Obviously, listen to me talk. I keep extra words, but when you are in the presence of Miss Hill, you do slow down a taste.
So, I think I've noticed that you've turned a lot more to like hosting festivals and emceeing.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of fun?
Well,
is that a different experience?
It is. You know, I've added it. I'm still playing live, but I think locally, hosting is kind of making some room for some new talent to come through. And on one hand, and then on the other hand, I get to enjoy some of this new talent. By just sharing the stage with them, but not in a performance fashion, you know, like some of the acts that I see performing, I'm fans of, and I like to be responsible for helping other people be fans of them too, and hosting is a great opportunity, you know. So it's still some good hard work. I mean, I'm a hip hop host, so we still gonna get the crowd going, a lot of call and response. It's almost still a show, but I don't have the pressure of memorizing all those lyrics, right? 15 songs of lyrics. Yeah, I can freestyle it when I'm hosting. So definitely works for the older Fat Rat.
Is there anybody you're particularly excited to see on Saturday?
Blues Traveler, Surfaces, yeah. And George Fettner, that's my boy, man. G Fats, and Villanova. I mean, they are a legendary band from the Midlands, Columbia, Lexington, and this is probably like their 15th, 16th St. Pat's, but they're gonna rock, you know, and they always do. They may play once in Columbia, but if it's St. Pat's, you're gonna get a hell of a show. So looking forward to that. But the lineup is sick, so I'm going to be making my rounds, hopefully with a cold adult beverage. Not too many of them, just a cold adult beverage. One just to sip on. My son will be with me, so I want to be responsible. And just we're just going to be hyping up the party, make sure everybody's having a good time.
Yeah, I feel like that's not going to be too hard.
That ain't going to be too hard. that I can do. Now, if you need me to fix your car, you might need to call somebody. If you need me to hype up a party, I'm in the building.
So last but not least, do you have any advice you'd like to give any aspiring musicians who could be watching?
Sure. You know, it's two things. You know, music is a privilege, not a promise. So treat it like that, because nobody owes you anything in the music business, right? But the other thing is, it's okay for music to be a hobby too. Love what you do, and if the business of music is making it not fun anymore, then clip it, you know, because art is important to make, and but it's important to enjoy what you make. And for the young artists that may be in between, do I really want to make this a career, or do I just like making it? Always just like making it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can sell it, learn how to do that too later. But don't make it to sell. Make it because you love it. And I think you'll have a long career and a happy life.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This has been FatRat Da Czar. I'm your host, I'm your host, DJ Placebo, and we'll see you on Saturday at the St. Patrick's Day Festival.
Yes, we will.
Yay!
Be there, be square.